It's the second coming they won't televise, with checkpoints, drones, and tear gas skies. He'd love to have peace, wishes peace was at hand. But if you have peace, you can't steal the land. You're now watching the Palestinian Jesus Show. And here's PJ.
Tonight, oh, this is good. We have royalty. And not the boring type with castles full of tiny spoons you can't use. I'm talking about the Queen of Sheba. Brilliant. Beautiful. Richer than Jeff Bezos, but with better ethics and real jewelry. Take it away, our
I'm
queen.
so excited. I've written a new Broadway musical called Fiddler's Off the Roof. And that's off O-F-F. It's inspired by a true story. Set in the fractured landscape of the occupied West Bank, Fiddler's Off the Roof reimagines the classic themes of Fiddler on the Roof, faith, identity, displacement, through the eyes of a Palestinian family facing the daily threat of Israeli settler violence. At the heart of the story is 16-year-old Kareem, a bright, spirited boy full of life, poetry, and the joy of his cousin's wedding. But joy turns to horror when armed settlers, drunk on ideology and impunity, storm the celebration. Kareem is dragged to the rooftop of his family's home and thrown to his death. The musical does not just mourn Kareem, it lifts his voice. It confronts the silence of the international community, the corruption of tradition as weaponized by colonial power, and the resilience of a people who, like Tevye's Anatevka, are told to leave their homes again and again. So that's it in a nutshell. But now I've got to figure out how to break it to Palestinian Jesus without making him angry. I don't want him to think I'm not grateful for bringing me back to time and space to do movie reviews on his show. So maybe you could leave me some ideas below, please. I'm kind of desperate. Thanks, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll be eternally grateful to you.
Thank you, our Queen. That sounds like some exciting news. We will be looking forward to your efforts on this new project. Next up, and this is going to sound a bit strange, but a ghost from the ashes of Auschwitz wandered into the studio and seems to be haunted by what is going on in Palestine. She has some words to share. Here she is.
Before the bodies cooled, before ashes settled, they were already conspiring. The Stern Gang, Early High, led by Abraham Stern, a poet turned bomber, dared to propose a deal with Hitler, while millions burned in Europe's ovens. They offered a pact. Help us build a state. We'll fight the British for you. And later, under Yitzhak Shamir, their bombs and assassinations sowed terror, not just on enemies, but upon innocent lives. After the Holocaust, survivors were armed to clear entire villages. A new cycle of pain. What do you call a victim turned oppressor? A moral betrayal unworthy of remembrance. It's time to face the truth and shame the hands that rewrite history.
Next up we have Mohammed, the great-grandson of a dispossessed Palestinian farmer. He carries the same key, the same memories, and the same heartbreak as his great-grandfather. His great-grandfather did not live to see justice. His grandfather grew old waiting. His father raised children in exile, but Muhammad, he refuses to forget, refuses to give up, refuses to let history be erased. Tonight, Muhammad tells his family's story, not because he wants revenge, but because he wants the world to finally hear the truth.
I still have the keys to my great-grandfather's farm. His land was stolen. His house was taken. His crops were seized. Even the money in his bank accounts was confiscated by this new, terrorist so-called Israeli state. But land wasn't the only thing stolen in 1948. During the Nakba, people were killed in their streets, in their homes, and in their villages. Women were assaulted. Entire families were driven out at gunpoint. More than 500 towns were emptied, not peacefully, not politely, but through fear, violence, and death. And when we tried to come back, they called us absent. Absent from our own homes. And you don't hear any of this because Western media doesn't want you to know. They show you rockets, never the massacres. They show you militants, never the mothers who were forced to bury their children. The truth is simple. We didn't leave. We were forced out. And we have not forgotten.
You know, when you've been around as long as I have, 3 million years, most of your descendants turn out. Hey, never mind. You invent fire, and they invent cable news. You give them thumbs, they invent smartphones and forget how to talk to each other. It's exhausting. But every once in a while, one of my grandchildren makes me proud. Really proud. I'm talking about Greta Thunberg, a tiny human with a spine made of iron and a voice louder than thunder. She's fought for the earth, for the oceans, for the children, and now she fights for Gaza. When the bombs fell, when the world looked away, when leaders stayed silent, Greta didn't. She stood up, she shouted, she marched, she told the truth. And when powerful men tried to shame her, intimidate her, cancel her, do not mess with this determined young lady. Greta reminds me that humanity wasn't a mistake, that evolution gave me something worth all the trouble. A granddaughter who refuses to let children die in darkness, who stands with the people of Gaza, who believes freedom is for every child. So tonight, we honor her courage, her heart. With a song especially for her from the Palestinian Jesus Show. We love you here, little girl. So, play it loud, play it brave, play it like the world is listening.
Dismissing Western scorn, from Stockholm to Gaza, her compass points to right, a child against the evil, steering through the night. dreams can cross the borders that bullets never can. No sword nor flag of conquest, just courage on her mast. They're cheering from Mulhalla as she reclaims their past. Little Nordic Viking, wind upon your hair, carrying the children's hope to those still trapped in prayer. And if the sea should take you, the world will surely see the little Nordic Viking still sails for you and me. Nordic Viking sails. Gaza, she sails.
Now here once again is the beautiful and brilliant Queen of Sheba, reflecting on how she will tell PJ about her new plans.
No breath. You're the Queen of freaking Sheba. You debated Solomon under the stars and made him cry 3 times. You survived 3,000 years. Babylonian exile, colonization, Beyoncé. You can survive this. But still, how do you tell Palestinian Jesus that you're quitting the Palestinian Jesus Show to become a Broadway producer? I mean, he did resurrect me, personally. Brought me back from eternal peace, an infinite branch in heaven, just so I could review Sheryl Sandberg's propaganda nightmare of a documentary. That's not nothing. But this musical, this Fiddler of the Roof, it's burning in my soul like hummus left in the sun. You see, it's not just a show. It's a reckoning. It's a love letter to memory and an eviction notice to hypocrisy. In Fiddler on the Roof, we watched Tevye suffer, kicked out of Anatevka, clinging to tradition while pogroms loomed. It broke our hearts. But now his descendants, the spiritual heirs of Tevye and Golde, they're not getting kicked out of villages. They're kicking people out, of roofs, of land, of history. My story centers on a young Palestinian man, the groom at his own wedding, who gets dragged from celebration to despair, thrown from a rooftop by West Bank settlers, while the new Tevyes, the new fiddlers, play the song of forgetting. And what do they forget? They forget they were once despised, stateless, hunted, that they once prayed for a world with no ghettos, no checkpoints, no boots on anyone's neck. They forget that becoming powerful doesn't mean you get to become Pharaoh. So yes, I might upset Jesus. But maybe he'll understand. He always had a thing for radical theater. I mean, the man flipped tables in a temple. That's classic Act 2 energy. I'll tell him gently, Your Holiness, your hair still looks amazing in humidity, but I need to follow my burning bush in my Broadway heart. Because Fiddler of the Roof isn't just a show. It's a mirror, a warning, a plea, and maybe, just maybe, it'll get a few people to stop dancing on rooftops and start looking at who they've pushed off them, who they have become. Time to pitch a show and maybe save a soul or two.
Last but not least, Solomon. Tonight he will present for you Benjamin Netanyahu's favorite light bulb joke. Palestinian light bulb joke, of course. Here's Solomon.
Hello, this is Solomon Titaniumberg, a comedian with the new Palestinian Jesus Show. Most think of the Prime Minister of Israel as a humorless, genocidal fascist. It turns out, though, that Bibi Netanyahu has quite a sense of humor and passion for Palestinian lightbulb jokes. A Mossad spy my dad tripped over in New York City years ago, right before 9/11, familiar with Netanyahu's lighter side, was kind enough to share this one with Dad, and he in turn with me. Here it is. How many Palestinians does it take to screw in a light bulb? One, but it's a moot point. By the time the Palestinian gets through 3 checkpoints, travels around the wall built to protect Israeli settlers on stolen Palestinian land to the grocery store to buy the bulb, and then back, his home and orchard would have been bulldozed by the IDF and there would be no need for the bulb or replacement. Yuck, 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 yuck. That's a good one, BiBi. And don't forget to subscribe and watch the next episode of the Palestinian Jesus Show.
Thanks, Solomon. Well, that wraps up the show for today. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can find our tribute to Greta Thunberg, the little Nordic Viking, on Spotify and everywhere else digital music is streamed or sold, along with our many other Palestinian Jesus Show tunes. Have a wonderful day.